I'm Officer Williams. This is Officer Pena. Thanks for joining us today. We at the Henderson Police Department want to talk today about school zones. We get a lot of questions regarding school zones because the law can sometimes be complicated. Our goal today is to simplify that and clear up the questions a little bit regarding the laws surrounding school zones. It's important to distinguish what a school zone is. A school zone is the active time when school's in session. A school zone typically starts 30 minutes before the starting of the school bell and 30 minutes after the last bell of school has rung. Now that varies from school to school. So if you travel through a school zone in your area frequently, you're going to want to research that school and find out the designated times for that school. And remember, they do change year to year. So Officer Pena, we get the question all the time, what does that mean when children are present?
Well, we can't really speak on behalf of the whole valley, but what we can do is we can talk about specifically the city of Henderson. We've spoken with our city attorney, and they stated that it would specifically apply when we have 2 or more children that are present that are going to be on the sidewalk or the crosswalk within the designated school zone.
If you're ever unsure when the school zone is actually going to be active during those times, a good indicator around elementary schools are going to be the crossing guards because they always show up before school starts and they'll always stay late after the school is let out. So it kind of fits in that 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after. Now obviously that doesn't apply to the middle schools and the high schools, but again, if you see students out and about, then you probably know it's in effect. It's always important to err on the side of caution and slow down. Let's keep our children safe. So Officer Pena, one of the questions we always get from the public is what's up with the no U-turns in the school zones?
In keeping it simple, there's no U-turns allowed in an active school zone, period. So everybody probably understands that double parking is illegal, but what's the significance about double parking? Why is it such an issue?
It's a huge safety issue for our kids. And the reason is when you're double parking, it creates a massive blind spot. And kids are going to be darting in and out of that traffic, which creates a major hazard for kids. Remember, our students, when we're dropping them off, they're thinking about getting into class, visiting with their classmates, they're excited, they got their backpacks, they're not necessarily thinking safety. So it's important for parents and drivers around the school zones to be safe for them. And double parking is one of the most unsafe things you can do for our kids, so please don't do that.
Another complicated question that we get pertains to school buses and when they're stopped and the lights are flashing. I'm going to have Officer Williams try and simplify it for you.
Yeah, we're going to really try to simplify this, and the easiest way to put it is when a school bus stops and puts those red flashers out in that stop sign to stop, everyone has to stop on both lanes of travel. Now the only exception to this is if you've got the 2 travel lanes going opposite directions and there's a raised physical barrier separating those lanes of traffic, and we're not talking about a double yellow line, it's literally a physical raised barrier. In that situation, only the traffic that's traveling the same direction as the school bus needs to stop. The traffic on the opposite direction can still travel freely. Now, with that being said, of course, student safety is our priority here. So we still want traffic that's flowing that other direction that doesn't have to stop to be on the lookout for kids that may be jumping over that barrier and still trying to cross that street. So just to recap today, we've talked about school zones, we've talked about the time frames that school zones are in. The most important factor is obviously when children are present within these active school zones. We've talked about speed limits, no U-turns, school bus safety, and of course parking.
So just be respectful, courteous. Thank you for joining us today, and let's have a safe school year.
Thank you.